My name is Calvin Evans. I am an aspiring comedian. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Born and raised in Logan Square. It's northwest side of Chicago, close to Humboldt Park. As a child, I was always, I wasn't always the class clown. I was a funny guy in class. I sit at the lunch table, I crack jokes, have people laughing. When I was younger, I never really was too embarrassed about nothing because my family, I got a family full of jokesters. If either you ride or get rolled on. So if you talking about, if you get talked about, you need to be able to snap back. I just carried that over to school, so I can't say it was too many times where I was embarrassed. Besides wearing Payless shoes from time to time. That's at a young age I really had to understand what it was to control the crowd and hold people's attention. So I think that was kind of not a foresight of who I hope to become. My first time doing stand-up was at Greg Hall on the U of I campus. It was a variety show. Before the show, I sat down and I wrote out a list of jokes that I had in my head, and I kept going over them over in my head. And it was a tough crowd. It was a whole bunch of acts going before me. And, some people, it was hit and miss with the acts. So a comedian had went on before me, and he had no laughs. So by this being my first time, I was real nervous about getting on stage. So when it was my time, I don't know if it was from the crowd, knowing me from around campus, that they gave me a minute of their attention. So when I got on stage, I had my list in my hand. I did my first joke, and I paused, and the crowd laughed, and I felt a little comfortable. And throughout the 3 minutes that I was on stage, which felt like 15 minutes, I was nervous, but as I was doing each joke on this list of jokes I had on a piece of paper, the crowd was pretty welcoming to me, and it helped me. It helped me, and it also propelled me to continue doing stand-up. My worst performance, my first worst performance was a sorority on campus asked me to do a show for them. It was a ladies' night. I didn't prepare myself. I thought I could put a piece together some jokes on the spot before I went on stage. I went on stage, and I was up there for 5 minutes. The first 3 minutes, I had no laughs, and eventually I went to some jokes I had knew worked previously, and which eventually turned out good. But for those 3 minutes, I felt like I was the loneliest person in the world. I had no laughs. And to this day, I still have shows where I go and I try new material, and sometimes it doesn't go over. I don't necessarily call it a bad show or say I bombed, because I got to try my jokes somewhere. So I think the bad shows help me prepare myself for the good shows in the future. My biggest fear with doing comedy is that I'm not as successful as I want to be. In the entertainment industry, it's hard, because you have to stand out amongst, hundreds and thousands of people that do the same thing that you're doing. So my biggest fear is, not to be successful, but, I feel every time I get on stage and do a show that, that's a step forward towards my dream. So, aside from being successful and, not being able to make a living off of doing comedy, something I love to do, then that's my biggest fear. For me, success is going out on stage and making a crowd of people laugh, and knowing that I was able to complete every joke I had in mind, and to basically put on a good performance where people leave the show reciting what I had to say, or agreeing with what I had to say, or just making somebody forget about their problems for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, however long I'm on stage. That's success for me. But ultimately, I do want to be as big as Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle. I would like to be on that level where they're making money, and they have a large following of people that want to see them and have a respect for what they do. I've had several. I received advice from several established comedians. Sonya D was the first professional comedian I came into contact with. I opened up for her in Bloomington, Illinois, and she was just amazed with my ability, and she gave me the motivation to continue writing and continue being a better comedian. And then after that, currently Leon Rogers in Chicago, radio personality, comedian. I did a show in February. He liked my material, took me to a comedy club, introduced me to the owner, and gave me his number. And it's various comedians I do shows with. They like my material as an up-and-coming comedian, and they kind of I can say I'm fortunate enough that they've been embracing me as I try to rise. I have to say, every day that I wake up in the morning, I have probably a 5 to 10 minute span where I feel like, you know, I'm not funny. And then when I come into contact with a coworker or, you know, somebody I know, and, you know, I put a smile on their face or I make them laugh about something, you know, that propels me to keep going. So my interactions with other people throughout the day really keeps me going. So I try not to be, I try to be a positive person. You know, I try to be upbeat about everything. You probably rarely see me down. My family is my biggest motivation. My family is, they made me to the people that I am. My mothers and fathers, they are just the funniest people you can ever meet. Outgoing, outspoken, that's where I get my character from. That's where I get my jokes from, my drive and motivation. I have a tattoo on my right arm with my family name, and that's who I do it for. I want to be successful for my aunts and uncles, my sisters and brothers, my cousins and nieces, nephews. I want to be. That's my goal, you know, to make their life easier by doing something I love. When I walk on stage, the feeling that comedy gives me, it cannot be described. To have a room full of people, a crowd full of people, an auditorium full of people, just waiting to hear what you have to say, and to keep their attention and hold it and make them laugh. It's just the greatest feeling in the world for me, especially because that's what I want to do. So I think it's for me, it's the greatest feeling in the world. You know, I'm doing something I love and people responding to it. Currently, right now, I am finding shows where I can do shows. Next month, I will be in Chicago at Edge Comedy Club for that Rising Star Showcase. I just finished one last month at Zany's Comedy Club in Chicago. Hopefully I'll be completing some variety shows, and I'm a regular in Bloomington at the Funny Bone in Bloomington, Illinois. What keeps me sane is basketball. I love basketball. I've been playing ever since I was in 4th grade, and it has taught me to be hard-working and tenacious. How do you know, just work with people. So, you know, basketball keep me calm, and I play basketball in my spare time. That's something I love to do. It's my first love. Didn't quite work out for me, you know. I was supposed to be 6'4", but I had knee surgery, and I'm 5'9" now. So it's the doctor. Dr. Wellington, you owe me 5 inches, man. You owe me 5 inches. As far as entertainment go, I would love to be a great comedian, but more so, I would love to branch off and do movies. If I can do voiceovers for cartoons, theater. I've taken theater classes throughout college, and I would love to, you know, take comedy transcend comedy and take it into the business world, have my own entertainment company, and helping out other comedians such as myself, you know, further down the line.